because I need to see these tires on this car. Get our hammer, kind of just try and tap it. Clean off all of your grass and lawn clipping. You don't really want that inside your brakes. We are the champions, my friend. We're having some good wins today, and I'm glad you're here for the ride. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Red Cap Mechanic here on this 1950 Dodge Meadowbrook. Today we're going to try and get her running if at all possible. I think I have a couple of ideas of what's going wrong and what we can do to try and fix it. Now, I was thinking about what had happened because the ignition system was working before we started doing anything, so it had to be something that I did in order to change it. And the only thing I can think of is that wire that I ran from the ignition coil down to the distributor. Maybe that's getting a dead short in it. So the distributor has like a little post on it, and that's what the negative wire, positive ground, goes to on the distributor. But if that's touching any other part of the distributor body, that's going to create a short. So in effect, that's going to jankify the coil. I found out that a coil needs, it's not just the big thick coil or cable that runs from the ignition coil down to the distributor cap. There's also that secondary coil, and what that does is allow the coil to create and collapse its magnetic field. And if that's shorting out, then it's not going to be able to do that, which I think is what we have going on here. So I've gotten two washers that are rubber, so I can put that around where I put that cable on, and that may help prevent a dead spark if that's what's causing it. Right now, that's my best working theory, so we're going to give that a shot and see if it helps. Okay, you can kind of see from here what I'm talking about. There is the cable on the bottom of the distributor, and if that's touching any part of the distributor body, it may be shorting out. So I'm going to try and put these rubber washers around it to prevent that, and we'll see if that that helps clear up the issue, because I'm kind of at a loss beyond that. Okay, we have that thing clamped down pretty tight, and it now has a rubber washer to hopefully prevent any errant sparks from catching anywhere else. So we should be good to give this thing another try. Okay, I got that hooked back up. I used a feeler gauge that I believe was my grandpa's, set to 20,000 or 0.2 millimeters, and made sure those points were gapped correctly. So now hopefully we should see some spark if I rotate the engine over. And we are. So let's put it back together and see if this thing will fire, because I'm not sure how many more cranks this battery has left in it if we don't start putting some juice back into it. Alrighty. Moment of truth. Well, we got two to fire, so that's excellent. Why they stopped, I don't know, but we're still making headway. I better double check that firing order. Okay, I double checked the firing order. 153-624. See if it runs now. Anticlimactic. See if it runs now. I guess I should plug the coil in. Just glad nobody saw that. Okay, now, bring the thunder. We are the champions, my friend. Okay. Couple things. Gas is being pulled from the tank now, which is spraying over the hot manifold. Tried to turn it off. Didn't want to turn off. Unhooked the battery. Generator's working. So just unplugged the coil. Why would that not have turned off? Who cares? Okay. That is fantastic. We got this thing running again. Oh, that was so hard. So needlessly hard. Why did I unhook so many things? But that's okay. I feel wonderful. And that's so great that we got this running. Yes. So what did our test prove? A, yes, it was a dead short from the distributor wire to the coil wire. Not the thick one, but the little one. 2, the spark plugs are now hooked up in the right order. 3, the fuel pump is working because it was spurting gas out. 4, the fuel tank did not leak out all the fuel, so that's great. 5, that new bowl we put in for the fuel system is working. And so it's kind of running. So let me put some eyelet connectors back on to the distributor wires, screw them back on, and we'll just keep using that coil, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then we'll come back and run the car for a little bit and see how we're doing. As you can see, we got her running. Don't have any fuel leaks. I don't think the thermostat's opened up yet. Got a little bit of oil leak at the top of that thing over there, but I can fix that. But she's running. Got a little bit of blow-by from the engine. Generator is generating power, which I am sure that battery needs. Temp is okay. Oil pressure is good. Fuel gauge still not coming around yet though. Not seeing a lot of smoke. So, well, we basically got her back to episode, what was that, 1 or 2? Yeah. I'm gonna let it run like this for a couple more minutes, let that charge the battery back up, and just kind of run that oil through there, because I guess I should check the oil pan to make sure it's holding. But I'm gonna probably let that run for about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, and just kind of watch it and see how it goes. So we'll come back to you then. But great news. Well, boys and girls, had to shut her down after about 5 minutes because she was getting a little hot. She got to about 200. Although, when I tried to shut her down, the, oh, that'll cool it off. The key didn't work to turn it off again. So we went from having not enough spark to too much spark. So why is that the case? All right, I'm gonna let her cool down for about 10 minutes and do some research on what may be causing that. Because I'm pretty sure your key is supposed to turn your car off. And unfortunately right now this one isn't. And it's also getting too hot. And possibly the water pump was spraying some water out of it. So we may need a new one of those. So again, we're only gonna fix what we need to. I need to hold that in my head. Just hold it tight. But yeah, give me a few minutes and we'll come back. Okay, well, I let her cool down for a few minutes. Filled the radiator up with water. It hasn't started moving yet. I don't see as much blow-by. The temp gauge is kind of high. It's at 3/4, but it is July in Texas. One good thing is, if you remember when I tried to gas it when it was last running, it would stall. Now I can push the pedal and it'll take. So I'm guessing that was the accelerator pump and the carburetor that was an issue. So looks like we managed to fix that. Still at 3/4 temp. Alternator is still charging, and it's not bouncing around as badly as it was when it had that 12-volt battery on it. Wonder if any of the panel lights work. Probably too bright to see. Headlights? One little one. Oh, you know what? That may be parking lights. Ooh! That definitely takes some out from the battery. You're not gonna believe it. Both headlights are working, and that one's working. That thing isn't. Let's try the dimmer switch. Temp is still high, but it's okay. Dimmer switch, activate. Okay, that turns the lights off. in the mid 180s across the block. That's still not really moving very much. I'm I'm wondering if that impeller is not working. We are getting some blow-by again. Temperature is getting on up there, so I'm going to shut her down. But oil pressure is still good. It's at 40. Oh, right. Can't shut her down. Okay. Something don't smell happy. Something almost smells like it's burning. And we do have a lot of blow-by coming from that thing. It is a 50s car though, so it's supposed to smoke. Everybody did back then. Okay, one thing I think we got going on is we can't turn it off. 190, 202 at the back of the block, 185 over there, 200, 190, 190. Okay, I don't think the temperature is getting into the danger zone, but that pump should, or that water should be flowing, and it's not. Right now I just have regular tap water in it, but I think our first assignment is going to be to try and figure out what's going on with that coil and why it's always lit. Like, the key is out of the car, but if I hook up this wire, then that becomes active, and that's not supposed to be. So it could be the key, but I think the most likely culprit is going to be this mash of crap wire, because it's like this wire I think always has power. Let's find out. Yeah, so this always has power going to it. I mean, obviously it's connected to the battery, but I don't know if you can tell, but that wire is kind of bare, and then I think it touches the bare wire onto the coil, which makes it always have power. So let me take a look at that and see what we can do to try and replace the wire, and get it so when you turn the car off, it'll turn off. I think that would be good. Got some updates. I tried hooking up a timing light, but the crankshaft on this is not marked. So I took out the number 1 plug and put a paper towel in it, and when it blew it out, I then marked that part on the crankshaft, but I guess that was 180 off, because this did work on a 6-volt system, which was neat, I think. But as that rotated around, I didn't see the mark come around, so maybe I was 180 degrees off. Still working on getting these wires to do what they need to do. Still draws power when connected, so I need to kind of tear in there and kind of just replace those wires, and definitely don't shock myself will be my goal. So yeah, we're doing great, folks. We're doing great. I'm going to start working on some of these wires. I really don't know what to tell you about them, and it's be really tough to film it, so I think I'm just going to try and work on those, and I'll catch you up when we get back. I will add that while I was under there trying to mark the harmonic balancer. I noticed the fuel bowl was full of fuel and it was all very clean, so I'm assuming either the tank was emptied before it was parked or it just happened to all leak out, but it looks like there's good fuel in there, which is awesome, and I don't see any leaks or smell any gas, so we're having some good wins today, and I'm glad you're here for the ride. All right, well, let's actually do this instead. So because I need to see these tires on this car. So this is the inner bearing. So it's like that. It's got this thing on top of it. So I need to pack this with grease so it can turn smoothly. And get a hammer and something to knock that in. 1 second. You all remember Sticky from our adventures with the oil pan, right? Okay, so how are we going to do this? All right, we have the high temp wheel bearing grease with instructions. Thank you very much. Ew. You're gonna want to wear gloves for this, and the gloves are gonna be absolutely totaled when you're done. Okay, so we want to pack this bearing so it can roll smoothly and freely. So we'll get a glob of grease and just kind of mash it all in there as best we can, I guess. Then turn it around, because we are going to fill this thing with grease. Like, there's going to be a lot of it. You just want to try and work it in there as best you can. Make sure it can rotate smoothly. All right, and then we'll put some more grease on the inside here. And then we'll place the bearing skinny side down and then get the cover for it. This is, I should have brought a paper towel. All right, get the cover for it. And this, oh no. We're going to, oh, son of a biscuit. Well, we're going to hold it with our dirty hand, get our hammer, kind of just try and tap it. Our goal is we want this flush. You do not want this thing coming out. All right. All right, so we have the inner wheel bearing in now. Try not to drop any grease on the inside of this because brakes don't like grease. Also, I found the perfect implement for pounding in these. Find a jar of your dad's old boot shine, and that's going to fit, I think, pretty well. Okay, so now that we have the inner wheel bearing in, we are going to grease up this axle to make sure that it can spin easy. And we'll also put some more grease in here. I want to try and cover every surface that you can, so it's good on you, mate. Okay, then we can take the thing and put it on this other thing. It's not going on. What's wrong? Maybe I need to try and adjust these brakes in a little bit. All right, so these are the adjustable ones. So the arrow is pointing out right now. Maybe I can see if I can get it to point in a little bit. Do you see anything moving? All right, I think that's inwardly adjusted. So now let's take our drum. Clean off all of your grass and lawn clipping. You don't really want that inside your brakes. I mean, I don't think it's supposed to have, I think it's supposed to overlap in the back, isn't it? I can't tell if these move in or out. Maybe I had those exact wrong way. It'd be unusual. Maybe on the video you guys can see better, but I can't really tell that's going in or out. There's like a gap around the whole thing though. All right, I'm gonna work on this and I'll get back with you. Okay, I tried to get it on there as good as I could. I put the small bearing in after packing it, and then I put the little plate on, and now I've got this castle nut that I'm going to tighten down. And that should be just about all she wrote for this wheel, or whatever this thing is that I am working on. Actually feels kind of sturdy. That may be good enough for the test drive. Okay, let me go grab one of them cotter pins and the caps, and we can put that on. Just know you're going to go through a lot of gloves in this process. All right, we have a cotter pin that should go through the castle nut, and we just kind of bend it because we don't want to die. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right, that should stay in place. That'll keep the castle nut in place, which will in turn hopefully keep the wheel in place. I'm not getting any shaking on it, so let's move on to the dust cap. Any bets on whether this will be the right size? I ordered it from Andy Bowman, so I've got high hopes. Looking pretty good. All right, now we also want to fill the dust cap with grease, and that can just kind of press its way back in there, and then gently tap it in. Gently tap it in. Maybe I need to be a bit more violent than I had initially anticipated. Why would you ever make not just like one size of these forever and always? No reason. I'm gonna keep working on this and we'll get back to you. Well, it's not as round as it once was, but that helps it like catch the wind when you're driving. I think I got it on there pretty good though, and it's turning, I think. So that's just one more thing that we have to do on this particular wheel, and I think you all know what it is, and I think I want to see it too. No, I can't be jumping the gun and getting ahead of myself. I got to get all the brakes done first, and then we can put the tires on. But we are getting closer to that. The car is now more assembled than it's ever been, so we've actually made some progress. So I'm hoping tomorrow I can come back here and finish up the tires, because I'd like to get it off the jack stands, and then probably chase down those electrical issues. But we are moving in the right direction. It's a wonderful feeling. If you have ever thought about getting a project car like this to try and learn, it's challenging, it's frustrating. For me, like, I've spent a lot of money that I didn't need to, because I bought some parts that I didn't need to buy if I had been wiser about it. But that's part of the learning process, and that's okay. But it is really interesting and fun to do, and it's really great to see, you know, that wheel, or at least the drum of the wheel on there. So we're getting really close to getting it on the road. So I'm hoping we can do that tomorrow. That would be great. That's my goal. I'll see you then. Alrighty, it's a new day, new us. Let's go ahead and get these brakes finished and then get the wheels on it. We're gonna speed run through that in the interest of honoring your time. If you're watching, thank you. Because we've already done the front one, so the back one should theoretically be easier. So let's get them taken care of and get these tires back on this car. Now keep in mind, these are not the adjustable brake hoses that this is supposed to have. Those I have not been able to source from anywhere. I was trying to source them from those old ones, but they are not coming out. So I'm going to try and see if these work as best we can. I don't know if this is correct, but we'll test it and we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and put the drum on. Okay, the trick on these is to use the small spring. It is taut, so if you can get that in though, that should allow us to have enough room now to get the other stuff in, but that's tough. That's tough. This one doesn't get grease. Ouch. It's kind of walk it back. That doesn't sound right. Well, that's what we got. Maybe this will help force it back on. After many long hours of quite challenging work, we get to do something fun. I can't resist. Those might need some dolling up, but all right. Now that the brakes are hopefully on there, we still need to bleed them, but I'm gonna need a friend to help me out with that. But that's a huge accomplishment. I haven't gotten yet to the coil and the issues with that, the wiring, but it feels really good to get this back on the ground. Man, that was a lot of struggle, but it's a really good feeling. So yeah, we are making good progress, and you just got to keep your feet moving. When you get stuck on one thing, go try something else. It's okay if you get stuck on that, go back to the first thing, but you know, keep going, and you will bit by bit make progress. So yeah, when we come back, we're gonna finish up the wiring and hopefully get her for a test drive. But that will do it for today's episode of Red Cap Mechanic. I appreciate all of you for watching, following along, giving me your encouragement, your support, your advice. It's very, very helpful to me, and I could not have done it without you. So this is a team effort. Everybody, I think, needs to partake in some glory here, because you know, we did this together, and I think that's just awesome. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And until next time, Red Cap Mechanic out.